Save Housing is the chasm between the platitudes we heard from the dispatch box and the reality MPs experience every week in their constituencies more evident. 1 in 7 homes in my borough are overcrowded. Housing conditions are the worst I've seen for 30 years, particularly in the private rented sector. That's why we needed, honourable friends, the member for Westminster North Homes Fit for Human Habitation Bill to call out these absolutely disgusting and appalling standards in which families are living every day in my constituency. And affordability, well, the bottom quartile of homes, i.e. those that should be most affordable, the average price is over £500,000 in my constituency, average monthly rent over £2,000, and the ratio between earnings and house prices over 20 times. And yet, because of the way the government implements policies like the benefits caps, the reality is that people simply cannot afford to live in areas where they and their families and communities have lived for decades. And the only remedy to this is the sort of radical programme that my honourable friend, the Shadow Housing Secretary, has set out. But you can make a difference locally, and I'm just going to... we don't actually have local elections this year, but for those who do have local elections, I would just contrast what the difference between having a Labour and Conservative council has. We had a Conservative council up to 2014. In the last 4 years, they sold off over 300 properties, empty council properties, as they became vacant. And that included 3- and 4-bedroomed houses and many 2-bedroom houses and flats, sold off on the open market, putting them out of reach of families forever and a day. And cynically, what they then did, they took a housing waiting list of over 8,000 families and reduced it to over 1,000. They simply knocked those families off, and they didn't even have, in many cases, the courtesy to tell them. That degree of cynicism and that type of social engineering that has gone on not just in my borough, but in many boroughs across London and elsewhere, I think is a moral crime. It's not just bad policy here. And I contrast that now, and this is one of the reasons why Labour got elected in Hammersmith and Fulham and then got re-elected with a landslide last year. Because I'm reading from a statement this month from the council there now, the Labour Council. Hammersmith and Fulham Council has recently secured more than 1,600 genuinely affordable homes in the borough at zero cost to taxpayers after negotiating a series of deals with developers. That is the difference that Labour in local government makes. I believe that in national government, with the sort of programme of house building and the crackdown on poor landlords and poor conditions, that we can actually tackle this crisis. It's not just that this government is complacent, though clearly, as my honourable friend Birmingham Hodge-Hill said, that is the case. It's that they simply do not care to solve the housing crisis in this country.
Sean Hodgson.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. Land registry figures estimate